let's bring in our good friend of the program, MicroMike, because he is just great. He's the man that joins us when we ask him to, and he's here to talk about the game this upcoming week. So please welcome to the show, MicroMike, which you can check him out in the description. Let's bring him on. Mike, how you doing, my man?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How about you guys? How you doing this evening?
Hey,
doing great.
I'm doing good, Mike. I appreciate you joining. Again, guys, go check out Mike's channel. Mike, I got to ask you about this upcoming week. I just mentioned it, kind of talking about the matchup there, how I believe this is an opportunity for Ali McNeil and DJ Reader to kind of cause some havoc. The interior of the Bucs offensive line, not too great. They got a rookie at center, Mike. Do you agree with me there? Ali McNeil, potentially big game this week?
Yeah, I think the Lions defensive line showed week one that it's an upgraded already. Terrell Williams, the Lions' new defensive line coach, has instilled a new ferocity, it feels like, upon this defensive line. There's more penetration. You've seen Levi and Uzurike get in there and get it done. Now you're adding DJ Reader, the guy who we all been waiting for to see, one of the best defensive tackles in football, to this already really good defensive line. I think they can eat up on the rookie. And look, PFF ranked them the 17th best offensive line in football. Let's go get them. We have the opportunity here to get to Baker Mayfield from the interior. Let's get it done.
Hey, Mike, I want to throw out there, I know obviously the big Jameson Williams game. What are your thoughts on kind of the weapons now with the Lions? Because obviously Amon-Ra St. Brown had a slower game, and Sam Laporta had a quiet 40. It felt like a really quiet 40, and Gibbs a quiet 80, even though he was in there. But it was like a Demont J-Mo situation. How do you see, I guess my question is just, how do you see this kind of shaping out, especially this offense? I've said multiple times, the weapons they have can be a number one offense in the NFL, and it should be. Do you think they can get to that, and Ben Johnson can find a way to get all these guys involved in the right manner?
Yeah, for sure. When this offense is multi-dimensional, this offense can hit you in many different fronts. We can do it in the ground and pound. We can do it at aerial attack. But one thing that we had issues with last year is the big deep threat. And I think after week one, what Jameson Williams did at the Rams, it showed the rest of the NFL the Lions now can hit you over the top, and that's something that's added to this dimension. With that said, there is a little bit of loss of not having Josh Reynolds in there. I think that could be partially a little bit of the reasons why the offense wasn't 100% full. Wait till Tim Patrick is fully invested in this offense. Wait till he understands the scheme, and they bring him up, and I think this offense sky's the limit. This offense can be the best in football if it really wants to be, and Ben Johnson is licking his chops. This is a good offense. They start off slow, but they're going to finish hot.
What do you think?
No, go on.
I was going to follow up with that real quick. Do you think Tim Patrick is up this week? Do you think they move him up and they get him going finally?
Oh, man, I have no idea on this one. I wish I knew. It's been 2 weeks. I don't know if they fully probably believe he's ready to go, and I don't know how fast he can learn this scheme. The sooner the better. I think that's best case for everybody here, because having a bigger body like him out there, I think will open it up even more for St. Brown.
Mike, I'll ask you this because we talked about, at least in the backfield, Jahmyr Gibbs, Dave Montgomery. Dave Montgomery was huge in the game plan, and he was just magnificent in overtime. I mean, basically just brought those guys to an overtime win. What are your thoughts on this week? Bucs, they do really well, their front seven in defending the run. Lions want to run the football. How do you see that matchup playing out? And maybe do you see Jahmyr Gibbs get loose this week? Where are you at with it?
You know, I think the Lions offense need to attack the middle of the field, the middle of the defense of the Buccaneers. There's injuries up there. Their safety's down. He's not going to be playing. They have injuries in the back end still. Lions was exposing the middle of their defense in the playoff game last year. So do the same thing again. This is a great opportunity for Laporta to have a breakout game. He did that in the playoffs. Same with St. Brown. I think this is a great idea, is just attack the middle of that defense. We could do a little bit of trickery plays, right? You want to do the jet sweeps and stuff like that and keep them honest with the speed. But I think getting the middle of this defense, taking the 7-8 yards that's going to give, that's the best way to go against the Buccaneers right now.
I want to throw this out there, Mike, and as someone who believes the Detroit Lions will win the Super Bowl, I think one thing to win the Super Bowl and to be great, you have to find holes in your team and figure out where do you need to get better. What was something on Sunday that you looked at and you said, hey, this needs to get better, or the Lions can't continue to win? What's one thing that stood out to you?
I think it was just that wide receiver that we all been looking for. I feel like that could be a little bit of hindrance right now on the offense. And once we get that player in there, this offense could be its full potential, and it could be just absolutely ruthless. Now, again, that could be a Tim Patrick, but that could be somebody else, maybe if they wanted to do a trade down the road. But that's really it. I was impressed with the defensive line. Obviously, linebackers did great. Secondary, I thought, did is what I expected. I'd like to see Branch not have a bad game like he did, with the stumbling and all, but there's not that many holes in this team at all. And I was looking at special teams closely because in the preseason we had coverage issues. Even though a lot of the kick were out of the end zone, special teams wasn't a problem. This team is good, man. It's good. If Marcus Davenport can stay healthy, that will be the question mark for him. And I think for a lot of Lions fans, how long can you stay healthy? But if he can, this defensive line is going to be ruthless.
And we'll go to the rookie, at least in the secondary. Terrion Arnold last week, I thought he played really well, Mike. The 2 PIs, though, that's kind of been the story. But other than that, he played good. Cooper Kupp called him. He's the next one up. Well, what are your expectations for him this week? They got a pretty good wide receiver core. I'd say a pretty good test for a rookie back-to-back games, having those wide receiver core so far.
When you look at rookie mistakes, they're going to make mistakes like a pass interference. The things that you're looking for is, can they stay with the receiver? Are they getting beat? He wasn't getting beat. He was staying with the receiver. The hands, that can get worked out. That's something that you can work out, but you didn't see anything out of there that suggests this guy is going to be a bust at all. He looks sticky. I'm really excited for the future of Terrion Arnold. And once he learns to use his hands better in the NFL, he could be I do think he's an island player. I do think he's one of those guys.
Ooh, I like that.
Guy is the limit. And I know a lot of people were in the stream calling this man a bust. If you watched it, he stayed with the receiver the whole time, and he's a hell of a tackler. And in this defense, he got a tackle. He wraps up. It's not a whole lot getting past him. That's a good start for the rookie.
Wait, Mike, there's people in the stream calling him a bust?
I didn't. That's crazy.
Stream, so when I was in my stream, they'd say Terrion Arnold's a bust. He's a bust. And I said I knew this was going to happen. Yeah, it was right after the pass interference. And I said, well, they called Aidan Hutchinson a bust, Penei Sewell a bust. Why wouldn't they do the same here? So.
Yeah, geez. Okay, but sorry about that.
Hey, what about Aidan Hutchinson there, Mike? You mentioned Aidan Hutchinson. I had said I believe there's an opportunity for him this year to become Defensive Player of the Year. How did you think that start? I don't know, 11 pressures, led the NFL, was getting to Matthew Stafford. It was just a brutal for Stafford, just kept getting the ball out like a half a second right before Hutch got to him. What are your thoughts on that performance? And, hey, was it legit? Are we going to see a Defensive Player of the Year season out of him?
He did was astronomically good, right? But he was going against backups, and I got to put an asterisk on like how great he could be in that game. Is he going to replicate that success every single game? I don't think so, because that was insane, right? He's getting the same amount of pressures. But yeah, I think he can be Defensive Player of the Year. There's no doubt about it. And look, Baker Mayfield's not going to throw the ball out of his hands after 2.5 seconds. So if he's getting any sort of pressure like he did in the Rams game, he's going to be taking down Baker Mayfield quite a bit. I know Baker Mayfield is slippery and he can move out of the pocket, but Stafford was getting rid of that ball quickly, and A. Hutchinson was nearly on him every single time.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, like with the quarterback play. And I guess I'll ask you with Baker, because Baker played well, man. Week 1, he played well, 4 touchdown passes. Stafford, we know who he is. How do you, at least from the quarterback, the opposing quarterback, Baker's prone to giving up the football a little bit, Mike. I think this is a good opportunity for the Lions to get some turnovers here. What say you?
Yeah, 100%. I concur completely. And again, he will throw off his back foot. He will make the mistake. We've already seen it. He's done it many times, right? He thinks he can make every single play. And when you do that, that's when you get the turnovers. Look, we should have had multiple turnovers on Matthew Stafford. And Matthew Stafford, and I believe, is a much better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. Now you bring in Baker Mayfield, I think we're going to get some turnovers in this game. Brian Branch was so close, right? Kirby Joseph got a pick. The Lions, I think, will feast a little bit in a couple turnovers. Baker Mayfield does make the mistake. I know he played well, but this is not the Washington Commanders. This is Ford Field, the 13th man, and the Detroit Lions. It's a different beast.
Yeah.
I want to bring up this last thing here, Mike, about the wide receivers here. Mike Evans, the weapons. Rachaad White last week looked good. I was actually watching the Bucs press conference, and they were talking about how those three, Chris Godwin, Rachaad White, and Mike Evans, they make it very, very known that those are the guys they want to get the ball to and want to get in the end zone week after week. What are your thoughts on this matchup defensively? Because it feels like this defense is going to take another step every single week as they keep growing. Do you think they'll be able to handle and kind of slow these three guys down this Sunday?
Best matchup to be watching for in this game is Carlton Davis versus Mike Evans. He's going against his former teammate. He's going against the wide receiver he competed against his whole time there, 6 years. He knows him in and out. That's going to be really fun to watch. I think that he can do a much better job than Cam Sutton can. So I'm going to give the edge right now just from our defensive backfield this year over last year. They got Godwin, a hell of a number 2 wide receiver as well. I think Terrion Arnold can do his spot, but they do got a nice rookie who is their number 3 now. He's tearing up. He took up the middle of the field. I think he got over 6'1" yards. That's the guy that we got to see how Amik Robertson can do. But look, I think the Lions secondary is better. They'll be able to slow down Baker Mayfield. And if you want me to do a prediction, I got 31-17 Lions win this game. I just think they're the superior team, and I understand the confidence that the Buccaneers have. This is just, it's a different team. It's a beast. These guys can kill you in many different ways.
I love that. 31-17. What a prediction.
Hey, he Mike put his nuts on the table. That's not nothing new for Mike. All right.
I said 21. Hey, I said 27-21 Lions. We win 26-20. So I say 31-17.
I like it. There you go. Check out Mike's stuff, man. I appreciate you, Mike, always jumping on when I hit you up. And good luck this weekend. I know you'll be live.
Best in the game.
Yep. No doubt about it. We'll talk to you soon, Mike. Appreciate you, man.
Talk to you later, man. These nuts.
There you go.